Hi guys, Dominique Drew here. So glad you joined me for this video. Today I just want to take a couple of minutes to talk to you about trust and how a lack of trust can really be a huge factor in keeping you single. Okay, so if you know anything about me, again, my name is Dominique Drew with The Art of Attraction, and I specialize in helping single men attract life partners through personal and relationship coaching. So because of that, I talk to a lot of single guys, and I have a really good sense of what it is that keeps people single. Right, that's really my area of expertise. So today I really just wanted to record a short video for you, talking about how to recognize if trust may in fact be your issue, because while that may seem like kind of an obvious difficulty, it really can be quite subtle sometimes. And a lot of the guys who come to me and struggle with trust don't know that that's what's holding them back when they come. So I just want to give you a brief overview of that, just how trust issues tend to start, how to fix them. That's the whole point, right? And I really want to share with you a really tricky, this is definitely going to surprise you, a really tricky way that trust issues tend to keep you stuck that almost no one I've spoken to was really privy to that information before. So a way that it really keeps you stuck without you realizing it. So let's dive right in. So how do you know if you have difficulties trusting? So a lot of the guys that I talk to will describe it as having a hard time letting people in, right? They're not sort of open-hearted and, people who are just like, yeah, come be my friend, and, that sort of ease of letting people in, okay? I've heard people describe it as feeling like they have a wall up, okay? And even if they have the wall up, they don't know how to take it down, right? There's a wall between me and people, or I have my guard up a lot, okay? Consistent loneliness, honestly, is can be a symbol of this, because because of that wall, even if you're surrounded by people, you can still feel alone. And if you tend to make really sort of wide, generalized statements that tend to be suspicious. I had a guy who came on. I do a free intro call for people who are interested in working with me. And, we talk for like 45 minutes or an hour, and we go into what they're struggling with, and we identify what the problem is and how to fix it. And then if they're interested in help with that, then they can sign up for my program. I had a call with a client the other day who got on, and within a few sentences made the statement, everything online is a scam. Everything. Like, there is nothing that is online that is not, kind of out to get me, right? And as soon as I heard that, I thought, I wonder if there may be some difficulties trusting here. So your language can be a really good way of finding out whether or not this is something that you struggle with, okay? So how they tend to start, it can be something, again, sort of more obvious, like you've had a really bad experience. Maybe you got your heart broken. Maybe you got screwed over by someone. Really a kind of relationship or experience that was so bad that you're protecting yourself from any and all experiences just to not have to feel that kind of pain again. And so the sort of logical thinking is, I'll protect myself so that I don't feel that pain again. But what ends up happening is you protect yourself so you don't feel anything again. That's why it keeps you single, right? Otherwise, we would just filter out the negative experiences in life and only feel the good ones, and everybody would be doing that, right? But unfortunately, it doesn't work, because the extent to which you're unwilling to feel pain and negative emotion is the extent to which you're unable to feel positive and joyful emotion. So how to fix it? So if trust is your issue, you're not going to like this, but the same as fixing any other issue that keeps you single or holds you back in life, the process is to break the pattern, okay? So, you build up these defenses so that you don't get hurt, because in the past you got hurt. And what people will tend to do is they'll look at their past experiences. See, everything I've done online has been a scam, right? Or see, women do this, right? But what they don't realize is that their approach to life, the lack of trust, is actually drawing you toward women who are less trustworthy, or toward experiences which seem like they're going to screw you over. So you prove yourself right. So it's not actually useful to look back at your past experience and say, see, this is how the world is, right? Because your past experience is not objective. Okay, the beliefs that you carry heavily influence what it is that you get in life. And so to point back and say, see, all women are, aren't trustworthy, or if I open up my heart, I'll get hurt. It's not an objective statement, unfortunately. It looks right from your perspective, but once you get out of it, and this is what I help people do, you realize that you're bringing on this thing that you don't want, right? And we all do this on some level. So in order to fix that, you need to take the risk of getting hurt again. That's what it's going to take. And unfortunately, with this particular issue, there's no other way. In 15 years of doing this, there's no other way that I've found to break this pattern. Okay, and so it's going to take that risk of like, this might hurt, but I want happiness enough. You have to get to that point where you want a relationship, a family, a companionship, emotional support, someone to share your life with more than the fear of getting hurt again. And you might get hurt, but you'll be okay. You heal, but without that, there's absolutely zero chance, right? So it really involves, making a different choice. Let's say that you get online, where everything's a scam, and you're talking to a woman, and unless she does something obvious, like she asks you for money. I mean, guys, come on, think. You're on a dating site. If somebody's asking you for money, that's not a real thing, right? So I know you guys are bombarded with a lot of fakeness, and it's hard to tell the difference for a lot of people between what's real and what's fake. That's a huge red flag. No woman who's genuinely interested in you is going to ask you for money. That's not part of this transaction, right? So let's just say that that something obvious like that doesn't happen. You're online and you just start, your trust flag gets flared, right? Oh, I'm not sure about this. Nope, she's definitely, I'm out. And you end up not meeting her in the first place. And it's possible that, because you got scared, you got afraid that it was going to happen again, and you act from that place of fear. And that's important. We're going to come back to that later. If you act from that place of fear to protect yourself, then that's your defense, okay? And that's you. That's how that in that moment is how you keep yourself stuck. That's you choosing to stay stuck. Obviously, that's not the conscious choice, but you're choosing to protect yourself rather than risk, and that is what keeps you stuck, okay, and single for years. This will go on for years if you don't change it, okay? And so instead, in that moment, you need to sort of like feel that fear, not act from it, be really brave and courageous in that moment and risk getting hurt again, risk opening up to someone, okay? And it's going to feel terrifying because, again, you're looking at your past experience. You're like, I know where this is. I've already decided where this is going to go. If you've already decided where it's going to go, that influences it towards going that direction, okay? And so when I was on this call, and so this is this incredibly tricky way that people keep themselves stuck. That guy I was telling you about on that free intro call was, had profound trust issues, right? So we get to the end of the call. It turns out that I can absolutely help him with this because trust issues is something I've had a lot of success with in the past. And all of a sudden, and so I offer him the program, and of course there's an investment for the program. And despite the fact that he's dealt with this issue for about 15 years, and I suspect it's more like 30 in his particular situation, but at least 15 years of being single and unhappy about it because of these trust issues. And I'm able to solve this problem permanently, okay, in a matter of weeks, okay? I have an 8-week program. I told him step by step how we were going to fix this issue. If you guys are familiar with my work and with the art of attraction, I don't deal with tips and tricks. I don't teach techniques. You hear me say that a lot. This is about going inward and solving the problem from the inside out. Okay, so the results you get with me are permanent, right? And so, despite being able to solve a 15-year problem in a matter of weeks, all of his defenses came up. Well, I don't, how this is going to work. And, and I could tell the issue was he didn't trust me. And that makes sense because he doesn't trust, right? So what we do in one area of our life, in our dating life, we do everywhere, okay? It's not an isolated thing. Dating is just part of your life, okay? So if you have trust issues, you don't just have trust issues in dating. You have trust issues, and that shows up in dating, right? So this guy had trust issues, and it came up towards me at the end of the call, okay? Despite me showing him countless, testimonials and stories and all sorts of things that that I had been, proving basically, what I do and that I can help in a very short time. The fear was still there because that's his thing. So what happens is that comes up on the end of the call. Oh, the investment. Oh my gosh, what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't work? And kept him. He ended up not signing on with me. Kept him from solving the problem in the first place. From solving the problem that got him on the call in the first place. So in life, he has difficulty trusting. That keeps him single. He came to me because he wanted to fix that. But because the trust issue was there and he wasn't able to take that risk, he ended up not signing up with me, not solving the problem. And it was because of the trust. So the issue that got him on the call in the first place came up at the end to keep him from fixing it, from actually taking the step forward to fix it. So if this is something that you struggle with, that's what I say when I say how to fix it, making a different choice. It's going to feel scary. Of course it feels scary. If it didn't feel scary, you wouldn't have trust issues, right? Get it coming out of the issue is always uncomfortable because you have the issue. That's the space that you're in now. That's the rut. That's what's keeping you where you are. So that's of course what's comfortable. So in order to change that, it's always going to feel uncomfortable. But that's the good news because all it takes is some discomfort and then we're solving a 15-year problem. And I have solved problems that went on for 50 in a matter of weeks. Okay, this is what I do. All right, this is a very, very common occurrence. You can see it everywhere, testimonials everywhere online. Okay, so he comes in with this issue that's keeping him single, and the same issue kept him from fixing the problem. Okay, so this is the really sort of tricky way that this comes up. It's not just keeping you single; it's keeping you not trusting. Not trusting is keeping you not trusting. Okay, and this is the same with everything. If you have anxiety in your dating life and you come to me to help you with your anxiety, then often at the end of the call, anxiety comes up. Well, hang on, I'm not sure I should do this. I'm not sure about this. It's like, okay, to be clear, this is the problem right now. Right now is the choice between continuing to do what you've always done or taking the risk to try something different. So if this sounds like you, whether trust is your issue or not, whatever it is that's keeping you single and you feel ready to make a different choice and really experience that change in your life, then I really invite you to reach out. Okay, there's a link below this video. The link that you go to is dominiedrew.com/schedule. You can get on a completely free call with me. There's no investment for that. We'll sit, in a quiet place for 45 minutes or an hour, and we'll talk about everything that's been going on with you and what it is that you want, and we'll clarify all these things, and we'll see if I can help. So if this sounds like you and you are ready, then by all means, schedule an appointment with me. The link is below, and I look forward to working with you and helping you in an incredibly short time move through these issues and meet the incredible woman that you're looking for. So thanks so much for joining me. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.